pretend like you're enjoying this. Today, we're going to try something different. You know why?
Why?
No, you tell me why.
I do know why, because we have nothing to talk about.
We have no goddamn ideas. We scrolled through every possible source of information of things to talk about. We couldn't come up with a single thing. So today, we're going to try doing just 10 minutes, straight talking, no edits.
Something, and hopefully we'll actually find a topic out of it.
It's going to start in about 10 seconds, and we have no idea what it's actually going to be. Get ready.
Let's go.
Did you hit start?
Yes.
Okay. Starting. Ready?
Yes.
This is like an awkward first date.
Kind of.
You don't know what to say.
But I feel like usually, at least with first dates, you talk to people enough that you kind of have an idea. So it's not no conversation.
Maybe. I've gone on a few where I was like, I don't know fucking thing. And...
No, I know, yeah. The past couple of first dates I've had were, like, they were basically strangers.
Really?
Yeah.
The last two of all times, because that's like... Information is just becoming more and more available. You didn't have any info on these people.
I mean, I had, like, very basic information. The last guy that I had dated, I'd known him for, like, years. But the two before him, I literally, like, one guy I met on Tinder that day. And then the other guy, like, we spoke for maybe...
You met him that day, so you were ready to go. Boom! Like, hey, I swiped, I liked, let's...
Well, like, okay.
I was going to say the F word, but...
He was also, like, he wasn't from LA, and so it was, like, his last day in LA.
The clock was ticking. It was like that show.
But it was like, hey, like, what's going on? And we were talking and all that. And he's like, what are you doing tonight? You want to meet up for a drink? And I was like, sure.
God damn. See, yeah, I always have it take a few days. This is why Tinder has not worked for me. Maybe I wasn't aggressive enough on it, but I'm always like, okay, you're gonna swipe.
But he was also
talk
one
a
of
little bit.
he's also one of two guys I've ever gone on a date on Tinder with.
So here's a question: can I just use that line anytime? Hey, I'm gonna start working like nonstop in one day. So like, if you want to see me, it's got to be today.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you have good chemistry when you're chatting on the app.
Right.
And it's, like, leading to a way where it's, like, natural to ask them. I don't find it to be a bad thing.
Okay, well, so, I mean, because they had the spare time to swipe, but if they're doing it at work, they're an asshole. Get back to work. Stop it. But, like, that's what I would assume. I'm like, hey, you got spare time, but every time it's been like, oh, we got to talk. Oh, I care about this. Oh, you do that. Blah, 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 blah. You available today? No, I'm working, but blah, blah, blah. And 3 days later, and nobody's schedule ever matches up. That's why it doesn't work for me.
And that happens a lot. That happens a lot with my dating life. The guy that I knew for, like, 5 years, it took us almost 5 years to find a time to actually meet up and go, like, actually hang out.
But this isn't Tinder.
No.
This is not Tinder. We're talking about Tinder
but on
right
Tinder,
now.
I guess it's because I'm very picky with who I swipe with. Like, if
you swipe, then you obviously
well, the thing is, like, a lot of girls just do it as, like, an ego boost.
A validation, like, what was that on MySpace? Hot or Not?
Yeah, like,
the Hot or Not app.
Like, I feel like sometimes people do it like that, but I'm like, I go on there and I will only swipe right on, like, maybe 2 or 3 people.
All right, let's just get to the point here, because this is what all guys want to know, I think.
Okay.
What can we do to make this shit happen right now, like today? Preferably, like, if I'm swiping, like, I might already have the pants on, like, ready to go or something, or, you know, they're...
Your I wanna fuck you pants, or...?
Just something. The shirt is what's I want to fuck you. The pants, who cares? Don't you look at that.
I think, okay, so if I'm texting someone on the app, like, back and forth, and I'm replying almost instantly, and he's replying almost instantly, clearly we both have enough free time, and we're both interested and actively engaged enough.
Quick responses. Quick responses
are always good.
Act on that. Get aggressive. Even if you're a passive, like, bitch boy, those are the ones where you're like, dude, hey, somebody shakes you and they're like, you fucking idiot, just do it. That's a sign. That's what you tell me, kind of. I mean, usually.
I think it's a combination of, like, knowing that it was, like, good chemistry, doing enough Googling on the person to know that they're not crazy. And then if it feels right, and if you're just like, you know what, I'm attracted to this person, I've been really interested in talking to him for the past couple of hours, nonstop, let's meet up in public for a drink. Like, I don't mind that.
Okay, so there was that one guy you met up with very quickly.
Yeah.
Was there another one?
There's another one that I met him probably, like, after about a week, maybe 5 days.
A fucking week? Oh, God. Do you know how much changes in a week?
Actually, no. I went on another date with a guy that he took him like almost 2 weeks to ask me out.
Jesus.
And I was sitting there going,
both those guys.
So one guy, like the one guy that took only a few days, it was more or less like our schedules actually just didn't overlap until the free day. And then the other guy, it was just like, it took him a long time to ask me out, and it was.
We don't
really
care
awkward.
about those guys because those guys are us, and we don't. We're trying to be efficient.
Okay.
We're trying to change the world. We're trying to be the Leonardo da Vinci of like just going out and doing it. The Leonardo da Vinci of Tinder.
Okay, so then that means like, this is the thing, is that if you match with a girl, message her within the first few hours of matching with her.
Like ASAP,
ASAP. Because that means that you're interested and you're not doing it for vanity. Which gives her the idea of like, okay, this guy is actually interested in talking to me. And then it's keeping the conversation going. Like asking questions, getting to know each other.
What's the minimum number of like questions, blah 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 blah, back and forth correspondence?
I don't feel like there's a minimum. I feel like it's more or less like it's a good chemistry. If you're asking questions and she's engaging in those answers, asking them back, asking questions to you, and she's actively engaging in these conversations with you very, very rapidly, then asking her out the first day can work out.
Yeah, that's kind of common sense. So I mean,
You would think.
would say, well, yeah. I think there is a number. I think it's above 10, maybe above 20. Like back and forth. If you combine both of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In the
Hey, how's
teens.
it going?
Get
I like
into
your
the
dogs
teens.
in your picture. Yeah, I have a dog too. Like blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Shoot the shit. You're cute. Hey, what are you doing out in, this area? I think.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
that's-
10. If you're fucking banging them out like between the two of you, 10 maybe 15.
Yeah,
if
I would
you're
say
on
at
board.
least 10.
At least 10.
I mean, I feel like, okay, like I'm thinking of like how it actually happened with him, and it was, we were just like talking about our day, and then he was telling me about how he was in Anaheim for this event, this convention, and we just like started talking, and it was just like it flowed really easily. And so then it was like him going, hey, would you like to get a drink tonight? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like it felt really natural for him to ask me. It didn't feel like awkward, stilted conversation, and then it was just like, hey, let's hang out tonight. And then I'm like,
All right, let me ask you this. So obviously, we'll just assume he was playing the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's girls that aren't responding quickly. Fuck her. Moving on. I'm doing the swipe left thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuck her. Moving on. Go to another girl that is messaging. You message a bunch. You find one. So that guy's doing that. Now, are you playing Did you play the numbers as well on that, or were you just kind of like, a couple swipes, I'm good?
I think, see, the thing is, like, I go on Tinder pretty rarely. I'm on there actually I deleted the app like 3 months ago, but
It'll be back.
it'll be back.
It always comes back.
I go on it like once a week maybe, and I'll just like look through, and if it's really depressing about how I'm like swiping left on like 20 guys in a row, then I just stop using it. But I think that day, for him, it was probably a numbers and everything because he was like in town for a convention.
Oh, he was just like,
yeah. But
Just-
for me, I was literally on that like a once a week thing, and I was like, oh, he's cute, and I like looked through his profile, and I was like, oh, he'd be an interesting person to talk to, and then I just like swiped.
So it's basically like a magnified reflection of real life. Guys are trying hard as hell, and girls are kind of like, I kind of give a shit. I'll participate like 10%, and then boom, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like I almost like I thought he was cute, but I thought his profile was like really witty and cute, and I was like, all right. It wasn't like I was going, oh my fucking god, like he's so hot, I want to fuck him. It was just like,
You know what? That's funny because I think one of the few times where I got a girl to meet up really quick. I have a lot of problems because I was traveling for work, and my app was slow to update. So I'd get matches in LA, I'd be on the road. I'd get matches on the road, and I'd already be headed back to LA. But there was one girl that I met up with up in Modesto, aka Methdesto, because they have so much meth up there. But she was actually cute, drove a BMW, all that fun stuff. But the way I got her to come out was that I was on the road for work. I was like, I'm not going to see you much. She actually made an accommodation where she was like, I'm working very early in the morning, but I'll come out to meet you. Which maybe that was just her easy out in case I was a complete creep. But she did stay out for quite a while that night. Didn't hook up with her, but 5 a.m. I'm not really expecting too much. But so that thing seems to work. So if I could create some sort of urgency, like I said earlier, where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be working for like 10 days straight. So like, I'd like to see you before then. You seem pretty cool. Would that work?
but I feel like if you're not truthful about it, it comes off as using it as an excuse.
So then, Well, okay, so you need to be a narcissist, compulsive liar, basically, for it to work. Or what if I did this? What if I am going to be working 10 days and I'm like, oh, okay, it's that day is happening, boom, and just hit it up, boom, 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 and start swiping and be like.
You're just overthinking it so much.
But it's so bullshit how long it takes and all this crap, and a lot of them you just end up. You forget about them, and then they must have found a boyfriend. That profile's gone now. Like it's such a.
I feel like it's I feel like
pain
if
in
you
the
match
ass.
with someone, hit them up ASAP or within the first couple of hours. Hit them up, and if they're interested in you enough, and they're replying to you, quickly, and you're talking to them, and there's that chemistry pretty immediate, which you will feel, then you can continue on and ask him out in a couple of days. But if it feels stilted, move on.
So you're telling me, just match with somebody and don't be a creep?
Oh my God, really?
And then you could possibly get a date out of that?
You know what? Shit happens.
Wow. My mind is blown. I feel like everybody that's watching this, at least men, they're probably like, dude, for reals? No dick pictures, no hey, you want to fuck for the first or second message. No, wow.
No, it's kind of it seems logical, but I feel like
there's so many opposites on stuff where it seems logical to be a nice guy to a girl, and surprisingly that doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, the thing is, if you be a nice guy to a girl, but if she's interested in you, it won't matter if you're a nice guy or not. She's not going to be interested in you.
It's the counterintuitive. There's so many counterintuitive things. So that actually isn't that common sense. But I mean, yeah, there are things that you could say or do that move things along faster. Maybe.
Yeah, and it's more, you find the things in common. You have unfortunately, charisma is something that you
have it or you
develop.
don't.
You have it or you don't. You have to develop. You have to actively want to develop, and it's actively want to get to know that other person and have conversation to the point where you're interested. The other person wants to continue this conversation in person. That's the whole point of a date from texting, I guess, is that if we're talking via messaging on Tinder or via text, and I'm interested enough in you that I want to see you in person, that's when you go on a date.
So just be a person that wants to. You just got to grow as a person. Kind of what you're saying, you got to learn to learn. You got to want to learn.
Yeah.
You got to have an interest in things other than the 5 things in life you may have an interest in normally.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why I don't want to say the word.
Is that the alarm?
No.
Oh, what
No.
are we looking at for time? Did you actually set it so it's going to buzz? You motherfucker! I was going to tell you to set it where it buzzes so we know
Sorry, I said it
when to
as a-
cut off. Guys, you get some bonus 2 minutes and 22
Bonus.
seconds.
So, part of it, I think, is the reason that I wouldn't say he got the date so quickly. I don't like saying it as it was a goal or it was a prize or something. But part of it was because he and I were in similar industries. We had things in common that were really interesting to talk about, and were interesting and made me laugh. And I was like, okay,
That sounds like a lot of factors that need to come into play. I'd like to explore further down the road, maybe making a match with somebody that you're not you haven't had 60 life experiences that are similar, be the requirement for the two of you to match up.
Ooh, and actually, funny story about this whole thing is that while we were texting and we were planning the date, Tinder crashed.
They broke Tinder.
The entire
That's
fucking...
how strong that love was, that bond.
The entire app crashed. I told him I was going to get off work and then we were going to meet up after I got off work. And then the app crashed half an hour before I got off work. And so I was oh my God, I was freaking out, but I was kind of oh my God, this guy's going to think that I blew him off. And then he was at an event, and he thought it was because, his phone battery or because there were so many people using their phones.
Everybody was blaming themselves, and it just made the love that much stronger because they were I need to salvage this. It's my fault. I need to explain to her and make this happen. And the passion just grew so strong that it exploded, and they made sweet, passionate love all night long. Tinder, you need to make your app crash more. We're going to end on that note. Thank you so much for watching. You're welcome for the extra 3 minutes of bonus material because Aling did not set a fucking proper alarm. But you guys aren't mad because it was all a bunch of magic on there,
It was
especially
a bunch
the
of
last
magic,
piece.
yeah.
Give them an outro.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out back on our channel for more videos. Usually on Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes the following week.
Sometimes the following month.
No.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
We're working on.
Don't you get mad at us for all this free shit we're giving you.
We're trying to be more consistent with the video, but it's.
You respect me like I'm your daddy. I don't even know what that means. All right, we'll see you guys next time.